Hi and welcome. You are listening to the Owen Sound River District podcast, and I'm your host, Viveca Gravel, Community Development Coordinator for the City of Owen Sound and the River District. And I am here with my good friend, Jackie Ralph of Canadian Mental Health Association. How you doing, Jackie?
I'm good. I just gave myself applause.
I like that. I heard that.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio today at CTRE. We are recording all of these podcasts to let people know what we have in the River District in terms of services and businesses and all that kind of thing. And we could not do this without CMHA. Well, so welcome and hi.
Thank you. We're so glad that you made a spot for us and that people can watch and learn a little bit more about what happens behind the door that probably many people walk past.
Absolutely. I mean, and you've got several storefronts there. We call them storefronts. It's basically just the doors and the windows and how they line up. Everything from Fresh Roots Cafe to the business offices there, and you have groups come in and all those kinds of things. And I'm going to let you talk about all of those things because I don't know what I'm talking about. So, Jackie, why don't you take it from here and tell us all about CMHA.
Awesome. Yeah, we are 1026, 1024, and 1028. So we are 3 storefronts. Before the cafe opened, it was kind of like a test. If you could get into the actual door that was unlocked and open, woo, then we could provide services to you. But once the cafe opened, that almost became the first door that a lot of people enter. But we've been around since 1963.
Wow.
CMHA Grey Bruce actually started as a tuck shop at the mental health hospital, which was known as McKinnon Phillips, which still exists to this day. It's the short building beside the bigger Grey Bruce Health Services building.
The white building. Yeah, the OBs and all those kind of things are in there now.
You got it. Rehab. Yeah. A lot of the mental health services are still in there in A2. And that's where we started. It was a tuck shop. We sold chips and pop. It was volunteer based. And then since then, we have grown to now over 160 staff, 11 locations around Grey and Bruce with close to 80 different programs.
Wow.
So it's really incredible. And again, it just goes to show that we're trying to touch as many parts of Grey Bruce, including the River District and Owen Sound, where you'll find most of us.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Oh my gosh. So tell me more about these 80 some programs that you have going on. I know a couple of them, but I didn't know there was up to 80. Tell me everything.
In 2018, we doubled in our size because we amalgamated with different agencies. So we had Legacy Grey and Bruce, G&B House, which is the residential addictions treatment program, and Hope Grey Bruce, which had offered a lot of the group services and a lot of the addiction services. And so when we got into this bigger umbrella, we became Canadian Mental Health Association Grey Bruce Mental Health and Addiction Services. So as you can imagine, a lot of the service are mental health and addictions based. So we have lots of different counseling, case management, and then on the addiction side, we have choices, which is kind of for the age 21 and down. So those folks go into the high schools most often, and then New Directions is for the 21 and over. There's pregnant and parenting women in there.
Oh, wow.
And then we also have court support, which is providing support for people who are now in contact with the law and may find themselves in different places that they didn't think they'd be before. And there's folks that can help with that. We have the men's programs, which is what people sometimes call anger management.
Sure.
So it's in there, and there's lots of different things underneath that umbrella as well. I made myself a list, so I wouldn't forget everything. We have housing. We have a ton of different housing programs under the Community Connections umbrella. So we have residential support, but also folks that maybe rent apartments that we then go in and provide services for. Group services, which is just like it sounds. It's a place where people that live with serious mental illness can come together as groups and hang out and do fun things and just share each other's space and do activities. We have peer support, which is a really important part of what we do, which is folks that live with mental illness are there to listen to and support and reassure and validate others that come in that also have a mental illness themselves. There's family support. We have an ID clinic. Anybody that is looking for services in terms of municipal, provincial, all of that stuff, know that you can't do that unless you have the ability to prove who you are. And so
right, because not everybody has a license kicking around or
right?
a passport.
Or if you've lost it, if you've been removed from your home for whatever reason, and that's all back where you were. So every Tuesday, Teresa runs an ID clinic, and you can make an appointment to talk to her. We also have the urgent response team. Those are the folks that go out with our police services across Grey Bruce.
Right.
So they're the ones that can do assessments right on the spot and determine, hey, do you just need some extra supports in the community, or can we help you go to the hospital and get the support that you need there?
Yeah.
We also have our food forest, which is something really cool. If you've never been, it's just outside of the River District. So it's right in behind St. George's Church.
Yeah.
And it's the old tennis courts that the city used to run, and they just became surplus a few years back. And so the Teresa Pearson had gone to them and said, hey, can we turn it into raised beds, which we then could raise vegetables for all of our different programs that have meal programs with them, and they said yes. And so then the food forest was started. We think we're the only edible labyrinth in the world.
I don't know. We should do a little bit of research on that.
But we haven't been able to prove that we aren't.
Okay, so anybody working for Guinness or anybody out there that is a really good internet sleuth, if you could look into that for us and get back to Jackie Ralph at CMHA, let her know if they're the only one. And if they're not, where are the other ones so that we could check it out and maybe do a comparison?
Because how fun would it be to go and check them out?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I got to go. It's research. Yeah.
Stop everything. Stop the show. Go. We got to figure it out. So somebody out there, a listener, a watcher, any of you, if you're really good at doing that internet searches and all that kind of stuff, let us know. We'd love to hear from you and be able to either market it as the only in the world or one of only two.
How cool would that be for a little Owen Sound, right?
That would be so cool. So, Jackie, I mean, you've got an extensive list here of all of the programs. I'm sorry, I cut you off a little bit there with the labyrinth. I got very excited. Were there any others that you wanted to list in particular? I mean, there's so many.
So many. So the easiest way is either on our website, we're greybruce.cmha.ca, so that's easy to find, or we have one phone number, which is 371-3642, and that will get you in touch with someone who can tell you about all of the different services. And we also have a toll-free number because we know there's little pockets, like Kincardine to call a 371 number is long distance, so it's 888-451-CMHA. If you're kind of just on those little outskirts of Grey Bruce.
No, that's awesome. That's incredible. And I mean, Jackie, we all know you in the community. You are such a light and bright and loud voice for I can say that because it's coming from another loud person.
Our slogan a couple years ago for Mental Health Week was #GetLoud. And I'm like, hey, live it.
And we need to listen to people like you who are such wonderful advocates for mental health. And everybody has mental health and needs to be aware of and cognizant of their mental health and and work on it.
That's what we say. If you have a brain, you have thoughts. If you have a heart, you have feelings. Therefore, you have mental health. And our job at CMHA is to help everyone have the best mental health possible. That's our goal.
Right.
And that's why we have so many different programs and so many ways to reach out and connect with us.
Right. So it's not just for people who are living with homelessness or suffering with addictions and things like that. And to be honest, addictions span every single demographic. So you provide resources for anybody.
You got it.
Right?
Yep.
And there's different programs for different groups of people needing different things. And as you said, those phone numbers are a great way to identify which group you might need to participate in, what program you need.
What are the best fits?
Exactly.
Right? And we also have a bunch of walk-in programs that are available on our website that we do in partnership with Grey Bruce Health Services.
Okay.
So one of the best ways to also test out fit is to go 854 2nd, which is right in the River District.
Yes.
The old DIA office is our Housing Outreach and Wellness office. And every day, Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, there is CMHA Grey Bruce staff in there and Grey Bruce Health Services staff in there. And their job is to provide on-site counseling. There's a lot of hard things going on these days.
Oh, man, for everyone.
And to be able to walk in those doors and say, hey, I just need to sit and talk with somebody for half an hour, that's possible through that location. And then they can kind of navigate you. Well, if you need to think you need some more and longer term supports, well, maybe this is the right program for you. So that's the benefit of that location, which is right downtown.
Yeah. No, it's 2-3 doors down, 4 doors down from City Hall.
Yep.
It's right by the crosswalk.
Ginger Press, the crosswalk. Yeah, it's
right by the crosswalk. You won't miss it, although you might miss it
because there's no big sign.
That's right. Yep. And so it does allow some, your privacy for people to go in and just slip in and get help if you need it. And you know what? Everybody needs it at some point. Yep. Everybody, no matter what, no matter how much money you have, no matter how great your life is going, things happen.
Yep. All of us are going to experience something at some point in our lives. And we just want folks to know that we are here for them at those points because they're going to happen. And right now, since the pandemic, our mental health triangle has flipped upside down. So we used to say 70% of us at any one time, we're doing okay. We got up, we had our coffee, we brushed our teeth, we're doing okay. But since the pandemic, that triangle has flipped completely over. And 77% are saying, I'm not doing okay.
Right.
I'm not feeling the love right now with the world and everything going on around me. So that's a lot of folks. And so to be able to say, hey, we got you covered. We got 160 staff that live in Owen Sound and Grey Bruce as well. They all have family that live here as well. They all have kids that go to the school here as well. And they're all human beings that just want to help.
Yeah, for sure. And removing the stigmas of all of these things and getting out there and getting out in front of people is one of the things that you do so wonderfully. You have a couple of programs that you've been out to. I've seen you at schools. I've seen you at, Girl Guides. I have seen you at the Hottest Street Sale on the community stage. Just about anywhere you come, you bring puppets, you bring a bunch of learning aids for people to be able to really easily kind of digest the information that you're providing and those kinds of things. Why don't you really quickly tell us about that and how we can bring you in to do those kinds of things for just about any group?
So I have a team of 4 staff under Youth Awareness and Education umbrella, and we do over 600 presentations a year to anyone from JK to 99. So we do workplaces, we go into seniors groups, we do puppet shows in schools, we do presentations to the intermediate classrooms, the high school classrooms, parent council. We just want to come and share information about who we are because we always know that if you have this information before you need it, then that's always the best thing. And mental health education should start as early as junior kindergarten and just be interwoven. It's not like there has to be a class for it because it should just be something we talk about every single day.
Yeah, and hear about where you can get your resources often, as often as possible, as often as knowing where the next Starbucks or Tim Hortons is. You should know where to go and get help if you need it.
Exactly.
So Jackie, how do we get in touch to either invite you out or to come back in? List for me all of the different socials. This is a bit of a challenge because there's quite a few different social media platforms that they manage and pages that they manage on each of the social media platforms. So I now challenge you to list all of them.
Whew, okay. Well, that's the part of trying to connect with every single person, right?
Yeah.
So CMHA GB is our Facebook and our Twitter, and CMHA Grey Bruce is our Instagram. We also have CMHA Fresh Roots on Instagram. Again, our website is greybruce.cmha.ca. We do have a TikTok channel.
What?
We're still seeking it out and trying it out, but we have, I think, 3 videos on there. We have YouTube, which is fabulous. So our CMHA Grey Bruce YouTube channel has a lot of our Wellness Wednesdays. It has a bunch of different presentations. And we also have different training programs that we can do out and about. So mental health first aid, applied suicide intervention skills training, and suicide alertness for everyone, Safe Talk, are programs that anybody can request to come into their space, or they can request to come into a training that we already have.
Okay, that's incredible. And I know just fairly recently, we brought you in as the city staff to do a health and wellness day, and you spoke to all of us, and that was really incredible, and we all learned a lot. And again, it's just about being out in front and, keeping it on the forefront and making sure that people have those resources all the time. And can you believe we're out of time? I think we might be two of the most quick and fast speakers that exist. So you might have to listen to this show or watch this show a couple times to catch up to all of the information that you've just absorbed. And Jackie, we'll definitely have to have you back because there's just so much more we can go into. Things you've been doing and just like getting into all of that. It's so much. And you're such a wealth of knowledge for it. And then of course there's the students that are incredible and some of the other staff that you have on board and Fresh Roots. Oh my goodness. We'll just have to get everybody in because that's a huge initiative as well. And many years in the making, and they're open 7 days a week
at 1028 2nd Avenue East from 7:30 in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And the food's incredible.
It's great.
And so reasonably priced.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and attainable to anybody. And of course, I cannot end this program without saying that you can pre-purchase something for somebody else.
So the pay it forward board.
Yeah.
So when you go in and get a coffee, you can buy an extra coffee. You put the magnet up on the board, and so maybe the person behind you doesn't have that dollar today.
You bet.
They can reach up and grab that coffee off and hand it behind the till.
What an incredible initiative. Everybody needs a little hand sometime, right? Well, Jackie, thank you so much for coming in. Again, we're going to have you back because there's just so much that you and I could talk about, and we've gone through it all so quickly. But, make sure to check out the website. Jackie, one more time, what is the website?
graybruce.cmha.ca, and our one number is 519-371-3642.
And the toll-free?
Is 888-451-CMHA.
Perfect. Make sure to write those down, watch this again, get those numbers because you never know when you're going to need it. And there are resources for every single kind of person. So Jackie, thank you so much for coming in. I'm your host, Viveca Gravel, Community Development Coordinator for the City of Owen Sound and the River District. And you've been listening to the River District Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.